Lagos is never still. From sunrise to sunset, people are on the roads, walking, jogging, driving, cycling, or even passengers on public transport. With a population of over 20 million in the state, imagine the chaos if the roads were bad for all that mobility.
And the good news is that that didn't happen in 2014 and won't in the years to come, because part of the mandate given to LAMATA by the Lagos State government is to provide adequate transport infrastructure. And that includes good roads that will enable you to move across the city at a very low cost, comfortably and within a reasonable travel time.
Poor roads, on the other hand, can keep you on the roads for hours.
And that's why today on the show, our focus is on good roads. And we'll be looking at the year 2014 to this point as we review LAMATA's efforts in making our roads top-notch for travel and what impact those efforts have made in the socio-economic lifestyle of the people. I am Obafemi Craig.
I am Kate Harmony. First, we take the news update.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on the news on LAMATA FR. The hope of a better transportation system in the city of Lagos and beyond has been rekindled by the Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola. In his Christmas and New Year message, Dr. Moberiola said the level of planning for a better transportation in Lagos State and beyond has been very profound, assuring that as soon as funding was available, all the projects, when implemented, will make life worth living for all Lagosians. He said with the state's strategic transport master plan, which detailed the transport requirement of the state till the year 2032, among which are 6 rail lines and 1 monorail, 14 bus rapid transit BRT corridors, and several road rehabilitation, the transport system to be provided will be comparable to what obtains in the developed world. Dr. Moberiola said with a good transportation system, the state will become efficient as people can travel far and wide in pursuit of their daily economic and social commitments. He promised that LAMATA will remain focused in delivering good public transport projects and initiatives that will support the overall state government agenda of making Lagos a true megacity with requisite world-class public transportation infrastructure. He added that some of the projects under construction will be ready for use in the new year. He called on Nigerians and Lagosians to show understanding and cooperate with the state government and LAMATA as an agency in making life more meaningful for the teeming population. And that ends the news update.
Basically, what LAMATA does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
LAMATA, think transport.
Craig, when you are counting your blessings this year, what things would you be most grateful for?
Well, the family. A great job like this one we're doing.
Yeah.
And naturally that I even made it to the end of the year at all. You know that not everyone we said Happy New Year to this year is still with us today.
True. You know, a huge part of staying alive is dependent on traveling safely on well-constructed roads.
That's very true.
Yeah, and the Lagos State government went beyond itself this year to see that accomplished through LAMATA. There are many roads which have been completed this year, and more are still undergoing construction. To give us a fuller picture of LAMATA's work and progress on Lagos roads, we have the Director of Roads and Traffic Management, LAMATA, Engineer Olufunsho Ilulade, with us in the studio. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The year 2014 has been very eventful in infrastructure development in Lagos State. Now, what is LAMATA's contribution to this development? And can you also give us a list of some of the roads rehabilitated, maintained, and as well reconstructed in 2014?
As a transport authority, LAMATA has been saddled with the responsibilities of maintaining some declared road network, which are bus routes, and some accesses, which carries mass transit in Lagos State. And of course, we've carried out a lot of intervention on some junctions as well in order to remove gridlock. But in 2014, we have carried out a series of projects on the island and mainland, whereby we are turning flexible pavement to rigid pavement. We are turning dilapidated roads or, bad road with surface distress to a smoother road for better, rides. And of course, on the island, we have done Sineri Daranijo Street. We have done Samuel Manor Street. We have done Abimbola Wuni Close. We are presently on Bishop Abayade Cole. We have done Wemco Road. We have done drainage as well throughout the whole of Wemco. And of course, we've done Ajilogo Market Street. I can go on and on. So you can see.
Just too numerous to mention
absolutely.
in details.
Yeah, I mean, some of these roads they range from 120 meters to 2 kilometers in length. And of course, some of them are their various completion stages. So in all, we've done going to about 50 kilometers this year alone.
Okay, you've listed some of these roads, but could you highlight specific work carried out in order to reduce congestion on the roads?
You will understand that when some of these junctions are designed, they are designed based on some traffic parameters. And nowadays, you find out that the volume of traffic in Lagos is heavy. So these junctions are dysfunctional. So in order for them to meet what today's volume of traffic is saying, of course, you need to look at the geometric of that junction and, try to redesign it to cater for example, if you look at the junction of Wemco and Agidigbi Street, Agidigbi Road, initially, when you're approaching the junction, you have dual carriageway. But at some point in time, LAMATA turned, I think, 100 meters before you get to that junction. We added additional lanes so that it will allow for two traffic to queue to turn into Wemco Road while you have a through traffic going on. So these are some of the things, we've been doing over the years up to, today.
Now, let's talk about Wemco Road. We have commendations from our viewers, as well as inquiry on when the remaining road furniture like street lighting, road marking, and signalization will be delivered to make the experience wholesome. What's your response to this?
Yes, all these street furniture, they come at the end of every project. You don't want to install them, before the project or during the project, because you will find out that you will have to go back and dig for their foundation. So it is the norm that when you finish the pavement, the structural pavement itself, then of course you will see people go there and now install the street lighting columns. And of course, after the street lighting columns, they would have provided ducts, to power the traffic signals, so they don't have to go back there and dig. So when all these things are coupled together, then the road will now become a fully rehabilitated
So we can easily explain that we need to finish the road construction before all of these furnitures will come into place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are all part of the construction, but you have to finish the structural pavement first. Before.
Okay, let's go to Ikorodu Road, where there's been a conversion from asphalt to concrete pavement. But the final picture is something like this. Look at this picture.
Which is
this is what we're looking at. Now my question is, when will this project be completed, and when do we expect to have something like this on Ikorodu Road?
Oh, okay, with Ikorodu, you will understand that we are carrying out an extension from mile 12 to Ikorodu town
itself.
Yeah. The road there is asphalt.
Yes.
Now, the reason why we are turning from mile 12 to CMS, the reason why we are turning it into concrete is because of the time the road was built. It has exceeded its serviceability, its design lifespan. And we are spending a lot of money, maintaining it, because maybe you do a stretch today, in another 6 months, next to it, that one will give way. So in order to save cost and to spend the taxpayers' money wisely, the government deemed it fit that, okay, what solution can we, apply to Ikorodu Road from mile 12 to CMS so that it will be zero maintenance. Okay. As you know, concrete has a very, very low, low maintenance.
Well, okay.
Low maintenance, but longer lifespan than asphalt.
Okay.
So we decided to change that dedicated lane and turn it into a reinforced concrete surface.
To give the vehicle the stability needed.
Well, it's just to make it stronger, low maintenance. For another 10, 15 years, we don't expect to spend any dime, fixing the road, as against how much we would have spent, putting asphalt, repairing it regularly, and that's what we've done.
Now, there was so much attention given to roads on Victoria Island this year alone in a bid to ensure that every part of the state is developed. Now, we know Sinari Daranijo has been completed, Abimbola Awuni Close same, Samuel Manua and Bishop Aboyade Cole are all currently being rehabilitated. Now, can you give the relationship that exists among this network of roads, and how will this influence commuting in and around the Victoria Island axis when completed?
Yeah, well, you see, on the island, the problem that is prominent is flooding because of the high phreatic surface. I mean, the water table.
Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, well, my apologies. I mean, the water table level is so high on the island. And for us to, make sure that we have good roads for, commuters to use properly and enjoy it, which will be pothole free, we have to do what is called block paving road construction. Okay. It is different from, although it's a form of rigid pavement, but it is different from the BLC concrete surface. Okay. What we do is we allow, the construction is such that when it rains, it allows water to, drain itself, infiltrate to the ground, because you have sound bedding before you now put the, and this program has started since, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't want to mislead the public, I'm sure we have started this since 2009, 2008, when we got a blanket approval from ESCO. So we are doing island roads on a rolling basis. And what informed some of the roads that we have picked, some roads are strategic and some are not. And if you look at Victoria Island, most of the roads there, apart from Akeadeshola, we can talk about Amadu Bello. Most of the roads there are intra roads, which are non-strategic, which provide accesses to maybe offices, residential buildings, and at the same time, they serve as relief road if you want to boycott all those strategic roads that are heavily congested
during peak hours.
During peak period. So it is important. For example, people can avoid congestion on Uzubamba the way if they go through Bishop Aboya Adeko or link it from, or if they want to go through Samuel Emmanuel, they will always find their way to Legally Ayorinde through that access. So these are some of the things that were taken into consideration when all these roads were being commissioned.
Now, if you have to put it straight, I mean, would you say that LAMATA has done well in 2014 in terms of road maintenance and upgrade in all of it we've just said?
Yes, we've done very well because all our planned program, we achieved about 85%. And I would have to say this as well. Ministry of Works are doing fantastically well. PWC, Public Works Corporation, they are doing very, very fantastically well. So, the synergy, between these three MDAs, will give Lagos State the desired road network and surface, pothole-free that the Lagosians have always been clamoring for.
This is the picture to look at.
Our dream.
Our dream.
Well, this is still LAMATA FR. After the break, we'll move to our audience for their comments and questions. Do please stay with us.
You're welcome back to the program. We have been discussing LAMATA's work and progress on Lagos Roads 2014. And we have Engineer Olufunso Ilulade, Director, Roads and Traffic Management, LAMATA. It's now time to take your questions, your remarks, or any suggestion whatsoever. You're welcome.
Big ups to LAMATA for what they've been doing so far. I'm excited about their project, which is the reason why I'm asking this question. I noticed that a rail project is going on in Lagos State, and I want to know which are the routes in which the rails will be plying, the routes they'll be plying, and how will it ease the traffic in Lagos State?
There is a report called the Lagos State Strategic Master Plan. Inside this report, we have some rail routes that had already been identified. We have some roads that had already been identified. And this document is a dynamic document. As, life changes, as the metropolitan gets, larger and larger, we always go into that report and tweak it. This report goes all the way to 2025 or 2030. And what we have identified, what the report have identified is that we need to make Lagos walk like a mega city. And one of the characteristics, primarily the characteristic of a mega city is their transportation system, whereby you can hop on the, train, you join the bus, you go water. And if you see the rail we are developing, one of them is the blue line, because, we have the yellow line, we have the green line, we have the red line, we have the blue line, going all over Lagos State. But the one we are presently doing at Okukumaiko is the blue line. And you will see that we are taking it to Marina. And once we hit Marina, that will be the first time we are doing what is called integration. Integration meaning you have a hub and you can take different modes of transportation and get to where you're going. I want to go to Ajah. I live in Okukumaiko. I don't have to go through, by road or by bus. I can hop on the train, get down at CMS or Marina, take whatever bus I want to take. I can come through water. This is what LAMATA has been established to do, to carry out a multimodal system of transportation in Lagos State so that we will be seen like Lagos State is among the world best.
Not just to be seen, that's the reality.
Absolutely.
Our tomorrow's reality.
And we will sure get there.
And again, some of this information, you can find them online. You can visit LAMATA, www.lamata-ng.com online. You can have access to the Strategic Transport Master Plan for you to have a clearer picture of what he's talking about. Okay, so we'll take the last question.
I noticed that the BRT lane from Ojota down to my 12 is really bad. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to fall when I'm in the bus. I want to know the measures that has been taken to make it better.
Yes, like I said earlier, we are changing that existing pavement to a concrete pavement. The areas where you can experience that at Ojota now are the areas we deliberately, excluded. And the reason for the exclusion is because, as I speak, we are doing a redesign of all our bus stops. So we don't want to duplicate effort. We don't want to waste money. So before you get to you will notice that before you get to the bus stops, the concrete pavement terminates. Immediately after the bus stop, some distance after the bus stop, it commences again. So those are the areas I believe you would experience that bumpy ride, because predominantly we started from mile 12, and as I speak, we are around Pangrove now.
Well, to you, our esteemed audience, we say thank you very much for being our guest here today on the program. Engineer Lulade, what message would you want to leave us with as you depart?
Yes, I will like to use this medium to thank the public, Lagosians, for their continued support and forbearance, especially when construction is being undertaken. And we know we are at the Ember month. I will use this opportunity as well to tell all the road users, whether you are riding a bike or you are, driving a car, or you are, commuting in any of the mass transit system, that we should be orderly, especially at all bus stops. We should not speed and observe all traffic rules and regulations. So in order to keep our streets safe.
I would also like to say thank you to you for being a part of LAMATA of Art today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, always. And we'll be back after the break.
Alákòóso fún ètò ojú ọ̀nà àti súnkẹrẹ fàkẹrẹ ọkọ̀ ní iléeṣẹ́ LAMATA dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará Èkó fún àtìlẹ́yìn tí à ń fún ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti iléeṣẹ́ LAMATA lórí iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n wá rọ̀ wá wípé kí a máa ṣe bó ti yẹ ká ṣe ní ìgbà gbogbo ní ojú títì tá bá ń wa ọkọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlànà òfin ti wí.
The Oga for LAMATA, wey dey in charge of road and traffic matter, don thank the people of Lagos State for the support wey dem give Lagos State government and LAMATA on top of what dem dey do for Lagos road. E come advise say make people do as dem suppose do for road. Make we follow as law take talk.
Today you have a chance to be one of the 5 winners for a shopping voucher worth 5,000 naira by answering correctly these questions. What is the full meaning of BFS? A. Bus Follower School. B. Bus Franchise Scheme. And C. BRT Franchise Scheme.
Which of these is one of LAMATA's core responsibilities? A. Transport planning. B. Credit lending. C. Home engineering.
Send us a message on Facebook with your full names and answers.
It was great having you on the show today. We hope you take a review on your life this season. Plan for the future.
We hope that as you do look back, you see your importance in LAMATA's life. Phil Jackson said, "The strength of a team is each individual member. The strength of each member is the team, and you complete us." We'll be glad to keep a date with you same time, same station next week.
Every member of our audience will go home with a loaded Lagos Connect card. LAMATA.
Think Transport! Eko Akete, Lagos, my home. With LAMATA, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines,